Do not be alarmed. This is not the spirit that is in current media.
Yeah.
This is going to raise our spirits.
This is Spirit, the Stallion of a Cimmarian.
Cimmaron, or however the hell you pronounce
Cimarron.
this stupid word.
Basically,
Stallion of the Cinnamon Crunch. That's what I call it.
Yes.
Basically, audience, Spirit Riding Free is persisting into its season, and believe it or not, the first season is where they actually try and make some ties to the movie.
How dare they?
Beautiful.
They try. Basically, this is showing dweebs the roots of that series and, well, showing what a great film it is.
Irony, I end up hating the movie.
Okay, I'll say this right now. Whether or
Even
not...
if you do, Dweebs, you'll still find it much better than the show.
And dweebs, you like action, right?
Yeah.
Then
good action anyway.
I think you'll like at least the action in this.
This movie has plenty of it.
Alright then, folks. Basically, start Start before the Dreamworks logo. 3, 2, 1, click.
Back in the day, even though DreamWorks nowadays is known for mostly making shitty CGI animated films, aside from How to Train Your Dragon and Kung Fu Panda, back in the early days, they actually also had their own hand-drawn animation division, and their best movies came out of that division.
Prince of Egypt, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Code, freaking Road to El Dorado.
Wait. That was an animated movie?
Road to El Dorado? Yes, it was.
No. The Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Yes, Dwibs. DreamWorks have made an animated version of it.
And now, welcome to Shenmue 3.
You know what's funny?
What?
The story for this film was written by Jeffrey Katzenberg.
Who?
Well, Jeffrey Katzenberg was one of the big creative forces at Disney Animation Studios in the 90s.
Katzenberg, is he with Disney now?
Well, okay. No.
He still works with DreamWorks, but he's had the moved role because they got bought by Universal.
Yeah, basically, Jova, he was the chief executive officer at Disney Animation Studios back in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
But then he was the one who left the company and founded DreamWorks together with Steven Spielberg by Disney. And in 2010, I think it was, or 12, where he sold the company to Universal, and now he's basically, even though he's technically at the company still, he might as well not even be, because he doesn't have anything to do with the animated films at this point.
How much you want to bet he secretly regrets selling now to Universal, considering the output ever since they got bought out by Universal?
I think at this point, he just wanted to enjoy his quasi-retirement at this point.
Anyway, and no, audience, this is not the start of Brother Bear, thank goodness. I mean,
I enjoyed Brother Bear.
That was a fine movie. It wasn't great, but it was a fine movie.
Wait, hold on. You guys like Brother Bear too?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's not great, but it's enjoyable enough, honestly.
I'm one of those people who, while I make... Oh, yeah, the horses. I'm one of those people...
Okay, Dwebs, here's the first thing you'll see. Unlike the show, the horses here are actually animated properly, and they actually behave and move like real horses.
Mm-hmm.
Well, doesn't this film actually have a budget?
Yeah.
Well, I'll get more into that issue later down the road, but yeah, okay. I'll admit, I'm one of those people who make fun of Brother Bear, but I also do like that film.
Well, they should have planned how to manage their budget properly. I mean, if they had very little budget,
look at that hair animation.
Mm-hmm.
They could have just used Flash to animate it.
Yeah. Now this is something proper nice. And this was made in the early 2000s.
Right, so what is this movie about, some of you may ask? This is kind of DreamWorks' equivalent of Bambi, except it's a bit more
Butch.
edgy.
La 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 la, twiddly,
For those who don't,
twiddly.
for those who don't
Aw.
know,
Edgy Bambi.
no, well, actually, Shiro, in case you don't know unaware, Katzenberg was known back when he was at Disney for being the guy who would always push for edge. In fact, he was the reason why we had that terrible first pitch of the first Toy Story movie, because he was constantly telling Pixar to make it edgy, make it cynical, and all that shit. So this is basically, and since you have already told me that Katzenberg actually wrote the story, this is an edgy Bambi.
Although I will admit, this one had a lot
It's
more better thought into
Thought
it.
of being born, just like Bambi was born at the beginning of Bambi. Aw.
Aw,
And the
he's
music-
so cute.
So the music was done by Hans Zimmer.
Oh, remember,
This is
he also
back when
did
Hans
Prince of
Zimmer-
Egypt,
Yeah.
so he was kind of their composer at the time.
Remember, he
never
was coming
seen-
off the
I've never
coming off the heels of Lion King, so yeah, he was still pretty good at the time.
Remember,
Well,
guys,
actually-
I've never watched a 2D Dreamworks film before. And by the way, Joe, this film actually came out in 2002.
Not just that,
Yeah,
but
like I said, I mean,
well,
this was
Java-
still coming off of Lion King. I mean, it's like, well, he kind of had a nice streak after Lion King, which of course started with Lion King, is what I'm
Oh,
talking
and guess
about.
who did the songs?
Uh,
Brian Adams.
Brian Adams.
That name sounds familiar.
So yeah, much like Brother Bear and Tarzan, this movie also does this thing where it's not a musical. Instead, it has Brian Adams singing about the themes of the movie. Also, Jova, just a little quick thing. One thing that might, at the very least, make you feel a bit better is that he recently proved with Little Prince that he can still do a great score at least.
Ah, that's nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, I never lost complete faith in Hans Zimmer, but I was kind of disappointed by his late superhero stuff.
Oh
Man
no,
of Steel.
don't like we can talk about that when it's more appropriate. But yeah.
Wait, this had 2 video games?
So yeah, much like Bambi and Lion King were about the cycle of life, this movie is also kind of like that. But there's also going to be other extra themes added in by Katzenberg for the sake of making this edgier.
And okay, I'm just gonna let you know right now, these don't end up a disaster. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was because Katzenberg had a team. Maybe it was because he actually looked back at stuff and realized why his original pitch for Toy Story was rejected. But yeah, this worked. You know,
That Toy Story pitch looked like what Aaron Sorkin would do if he made an animated movie.
okay, the weird thing about DreamWorks is like, well, yeah, okay, the reason DreamWorks was made was for incredibly petty reasons, and yet that actually got them to...
We can probably explain more of that in the Shrek commentary, because that's where it's most relevant.
Well, I wasn't going to delve too much in that. What I was going to say is, like, well, despite it being founded on petty reasons, they actually did make some pretty great outputs, even for those reasons.
At the beginning, specifically, mostly because the whole...
Slow my morning breath.
Mostly because the whole hatred for Disney thing was done with the CGI films, whereas the hand-drawn department fortunately stayed out.
Which is ironic, because back in the day, people thought that the 2D animation was them trying to rip off Disney. Because at the time, Disney were kind of abandoning 2D, so, hey, if they weren't going to do it, somebody else should. And, yeah, like Pedro, I really miss the days when DreamWorks output these kind of movies. Like, they still look good animation-wise. And yes, I actually do like the songs of this movie.
So he got Matt Damon as Spirit.
Yep.
Inner monologue.
Okay.
Don't worry, guys. This is the good kind of inner monologue, not the bad kind like from Thief and the Cobbler.
This came out the same year as the first Jason Bourne film. So he went from being a secret agent to a horse.
What, you never did when you were growing up?
No. I went from being a secret agent to a cow. It was...
Our score is great.
Hey, Sherry, remember the time you went from being a secret agent to being a
Cat.
Cat. Yes.
cat? How did
Yeah.
that go?
Well, I got
So
my
yeah,
lives
he's
out of it.
So yeah, Spirit is kind of the
Nala?
leader of his herd. Oh, remember, Drebs, this is Lion King, but edgy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Spirit is kind of the leader of his herd, so obviously it's his job to protect the weaker.
Precisely. That's another good thing about this movie. They actually did do their research for how wild horses behave.
As they should, unlike what the show people have done, clearly.
We'll get to that when we've gotten to know these characters better, because actually, yeah, we were not dweebs. The characters are well written here. Yeah, even the non-speaking ones, the horses.
Well, yeah, most of the movie relies on the animation. It's mostly visual storytelling. Yeah, there's the narration when it's needed, but most of it is just done purely through the visuals.
That's another thing that makes this...
The horses don't speak.
Basically, Shiroi, this is what I was hoping the Minions movie could have been. One that was mainly with non-speaking protagonists and could be good. And that's not to say the Minions movie was bad, it's just... It kind of turned into the Sandra Bullock show, let's be quite honest.
Well, that was Speed 2.
Aww.
I take it. I mean, since Bryan Adams is now the most hated singer on all the internet,
He is?
That would be Phil Collins. It was more like.
Wait.
everywhere I go, no one has anything nice to say about it.
Wait, people hate Phil Collins?
No, Bryan Adams.
It's Phil Collins and Bryan Adams, Jova. They don't really like how they sing in these movies, basically.
I thought that was just Doug Walker who had a hate boner for Phil.
That too, but it's not just him. It's kind of a thing because they don't like it because, and to be fair, there is kind of, while I don't mind it personally, I do admit that it can be quite distracting to have songs where the singer literally spells out the emotional subtext and why we're supposed to, instead of just letting the animation speak for itself. And while I don't mind it personally, the way Tarzan and Bird or Bear did it, I do admit, it's like an acquired taste.
I guess I can see where he's coming from because, in one sense the song sounds nice, but when you get down to it, you kind of wasted lyrics on just explaining the plot.
It's kind of dumbing down. I don't mind it personally, but it's still kind of a problem.
I mean, if the emotions are very clear with the characters themselves, there's no need for you to blatantly spell it out.
Yeah. Imagine, for example, if we're watching, say,
I'm standing in the dark on a mountain.
It's like how honest trailers, when they come to the music part of any given movie that has a musical number, they do go the blatant route with it deliberately.
Yeah.
Imagine if we're watching. Imagine if we're watching the ending of something like, say, Toy Story 3 or something, and while it's happening, we hear Randy Newman singing about why it's emotional and why you're supposed to be invested. It just comes off as,
Right, come on. We're gonna go to a brand new town. Why do I sound like Jason Bourne in my head?
Because remember, Dwebs, we're trying to be edgy. Jason Bourne here.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it was already better than the most recent Jason Bourne movie.
All right, so let's check what that is.
So the horses think that something might be going on.
My spirit sense is tingling. Oh no. Man!
Dun, dun,
Humans.
Yes, man. Man will rape your children and eat their innards.
I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was better in Bambi when we didn't see him.
I agree. But remember, that's just the thing.
I will say here, though, considering the role that man plays in the film, it's probably for the best we do see them.
Yeah, true. Let's just say, Dwebs, for this particular movie, because of where they'll see why.
Yeah, believe it or not, this
I
is...
never understood what's the point of those things at the back of your shoe.
Those are kind of for motivating the horses.
Yeah, but remember, Dwebs, one of the most efficient ways of getting the horse to run faster is by literally physically hurting it. So they have that so they can literally hit the horse with the feet. It's and it's honestly, if you ask me, it should be forbidden. It's animal cruelty.
Yeah, there's a reason we don't really use those nowadays. I mean, some people use them, but not as many people do.
Use what, sorry?
Those little sharp bits at the end of cowboy boots.
The little sharp things on cowboy boots,
Cute.
You're gonna be done now for.
You know what reminds me of? It reminds me of that scene in Jim Carrey's The Mask, where he's dreaming that he's hitting on Cameron Diaz, and but then reveal. It's technically a cliche, but I thought that movie did really well. Turns out it was his dog that was kissing him while he was sleeping.
No, jokes like that can be done plenty well, even now.
back then it was fine since it wasn't a cliche, but yeah, true. The problem is that it was so overused that it became such a...
So, what exactly is meant to be the story?
It's Spirit figuring out... Okay, the thing is, you have to understand that this plot is told in a more subtle visual way. It's not so much story-driven, it's more so it's the cycle of life. You're just watching this horse learn things and just grow from his experiences. It's kind of more slice of life than any structure, kind of like Bambi was.
Well done. You led the humans to the colony.
He didn't think that the humans would follow him. Remember, this was his first interaction with humans. He wouldn't know. So now while they run away, he'll distract.
Go, my cinnamon stallion, attack! This sounds like Hans Zimmer's Pirates of the Caribbean music.
Maybe it was practice for later.
I guess.
I can hear it.
Well, Hans Zimmer always has a certain style. Uh-oh. There's no time for looking smug,
That's another great thing. The animation on Spirit is bloody amazing. Like, they managed to get so much expression out of his...
There you go.
But yeah, they get so much expression just through the emotion of his face alone.
So I trust Pedro has been glossing over how wonderfully this movie expresses while in my absence?
I literally just finished saying that.
Good. So yeah, Spirit gets caught, but unlike in the TV show, it's a lot tougher to catch him.
Okay, Joe, but how about this? I'm gonna burp so I can get myself something to eat while I watch this, and you get the stage all yours so you can praise the movie.
No, Pedro. I'm glad you did that.
Well, I'm still hungry though, so BRB.
You're angry at me for complimenting you.
Hungry.
Oh, hungry.
Hungry.
And Spirit's mother is sad about this.
That's his mother?
Yeah, that's his mom.
Actually,
I'm not really good at telling.
Actually, I think that's Rain, Jova.
No. Pedro, Rain doesn't show up until like later.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that is his mother.
They look very similar. It's just because they look very similar.
No. Rain has a darker.
So Spirit has mommy issues.
Oh God.
I'll admit I'm not very good at telling what gender.
Hold on, Narish.
Now that's another thing, Ike. Notice how that horse who, helped catch him sort of gave that sad face and shook his head? That's another good thing, is that, yeah, this is very much an allegory for slavery in many regards.
Yeah, because remember, this was supposed to take place in that time period, something that Spirit Riding Free forgot about.
Basically, folks.
Can you imagine the direction Matt Damon was given? Right, Matt, you're a horse.
I'll just monologue it then.
Slavery.
Basically, folks, every episode that's had Grayson in the TV show as a main antagonist is trying to replicate what this movie does. Oh no, the eagle's flying away, and the eagle is a symbol of freedom, and you know what that means?
Brian, I can tell he's resilient already. The earlier scenes taught
Like,
me that.
Symbolism.
Seriously, Brian, we have the eagle, the symbol of freedom, abandoning spirit. I think we get it.
Yes, I think this film's starting to suffer Brother Bear problems.
Brother Bear and Tarzan problems. Don't worry though, thankfully it doesn't hinder the quality of the movie.
Does someone tell Brian Adams to shut up at some point?
Also, obvious Lion King reference.
It's the circle of death.
Oh boy, and here we come to the plantation setting.
Come on, Cinnamon, get in there.
It's Spirit.
Did you just say cinnamon?
Yeah. That's what the film's called, Stallion of the Cinnamon.
No, it's Stallion of the Cimmaron.
Well, screw it, I'm calling it Stallion of the Cinnamon from now on.
So basically, this is taking place during the Indian Wars.
Besides, isn't cinnamon good for you?
Depends on how much you have. But yeah, basically, this is taking place during the American Indian Wars, so of course, certain American soldiers are taking in horses to break them.
Come on, get in there, you haven't got all day.
Nope. Uh-oh.
Silly Jova, all you need to break a
Definitely.
horse is friendship and love.
Anyway, this is the
Because
Colonel.
friendship is magic.
Anyway, this is the Colonel played by James Cromwell.
James Cromwell, wasn't he the guy who invented the warp drive in Star Trek First Contact?
Ah, yes, Dwibs. He was also in the
Very
Green.
good.
He was also in the Green Mile, L.A. Confidential, I, Robot, Big Hero 6, The Artist, He was in Secretariat, another movie about a horse. He was in Space Cowboys, another movie involving cowboys.
Oh, I've seen. I remember going to the cinema seeing Space Cowboys years ago. My dad dragged me there.
How was it?
I don't know, it was years ago. But hey, I can say that technically I have seen a film that was directed by Clint Eastwood.
Oh, goody, this scene.
Oh.
Okay, so they managed to get Spirit's hair cut. That was them getting lucky.
All right, I'm back and I brought muffin.
Can I have one,
No, my muffin.
please?
I have green tea Kit Kats.
Oh, goody, Pedro, you're just in time for that scene.
You don't have regular Kit Kats though, do you?
There are
Ooh,
regular
God.
Kit Kats here, but I'm gonna have green tea Kit Kats.
This is gonna hurt.
There you go.
dear.
Kicking his ass.
Little did Spirit know that his future son would grow up to be a wuss.
So now they're actually gonna try and tie down Spirit, so now they can get the horses on.
I've been kicked by a horse. It's not fun. It's not fun.
In the head?
Actually, yes,
Ooh.
and in the shin.
What the hell did you do to
Oh.
piss off the horse?
They basically got a bit excited about the jumping hurdles and then threw me forward.
And then turned around to kick you?
Well, no. It's because like stereotypically in animation, they usually, when a horse bucks someone off, they usually show them throwing them backwards. The horse threw me forwards, so I was in front of them. So when they ran forward, they ran over me.
Ouch.
I was okay though, luckily.
Yeah, sure, you're lucky that horse wasn't Spirit. He can headbutt too.
I'm nowhere near Mena, and I can hear dogs outside. I'm about 7,000 miles away from Mena.
It's funny because we heard Dwibs' dog earlier today.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm taking your place, Shira. Yeah, you'll be hearing my dog from now on.
Oh, so we still have a dog in the background.
Okay.
Let's try and tame this beast, shall we?
Brian, shut up. That's like 6 songs in like 20 minutes.
No, I think is this the third one?
Oh.
So I take it you're not a fan of Brian Whips?
Well, I think even if you're a fan of...
shelled down my throat this quickly.
Yeah, I mean, whether or not you're a fan of the singer in question, yeah, these songs, I don't care how good they are, they're unnecessary.
Yeah.
Not to mention they're really unfitting.
Well,
they're all taking turns to try to tame Spirit.
Well, that's the thing, Dwibs. They technically are fitting. But the problem is that they're so fitting because they're telling us what's going on.
This is probably this kind of executive mandate because
Tarzan and Brother Bear were doing it at the time.
Yeah.
Oops. Never mind. So, who's next?
We get it, he's a snarky git.
Come at me, bro.
Alright.
Uh-oh.
What? Wait, that's long though, did he?
Get off of my back!
I swear, if Brian sings one more song.
There you go, Joba. This is why people don't like Phil Collins in
Yeah,
Disney movies.
yeah. You know, it had been a while since I'd seen those movies, so I kind of thought Doug was overreacting, but yeah, never mind. Uh-oh. Okay, now playtime's over.
It's one of those cases where you can tell the filmmakers are being forced by the executives. Oh, you still have to do something so that the kiddies can understand. You can't be too subtle about it.
Because you've got Matt Damon narrating.
I mean, okay, seriously, we have Matt Damon narrating, and again, the animation already does the perfect way of conveying the scenarios here and there. So the songs were just way too much a step.
I would argue you don't even need a narration. If this movie was a silent film, it'd work even better, if you ask me.
Okay. Now here's one of the things that season 3 is going to try and replicate, where Spirit has to go a long duration without food or water.
Oh, goody.
I'm not gonna say how they do it in that season because you guys haven't seen it yet, and to be fair, that may actually have been good. I'm gonna let you judge on your own.
I've got no water. I've got no food.
No, actually, this time it's Matt.
This reminds me of that Lion King night scene.
Yeah, it's pretty much like I said. This movie would be so amazing if it had no songs and no narration. Like literally, you can literally take the score. I'm actually gonna check if there's a fan edit of this with just the score because it would work just peachy.
Considering how we have stuff like the recobbled cut of Thief and the Copper, I wouldn't be surprised. I will say this, though, I'm actually okay with Matt Damon's narration because there are some scenes where it does come in handy.
Yeah, the narration is fine.
It's the songs. Ugh.
Just like in Brother Bear and Tarzan, it's unneeded. Yeah, so unneeded and so pandering.
Now, okay, this scene works out wonderfully. Like, we slowly see the Colonel taunting Spirit with water, knowing that as soon as he gives in, he's his. Hi there. That's another thing. This movie does not tiptoe around the fact that there were a lot of racism going around at the time. Something which Spirit Riding Free dances around.
Silly Jova. There never was any racism.
Yeah.
Post. Dun dun dun.
It's like the naughty step, isn't it? It's like,
yes. Welcome to Super Spirit.
You know, how much do you want to bet he had him tied to the post in hopes that Spirit would get angry and kick him to death?
So there you go, Dweebs. Much like they did in the first episode of the show. It's this thing where both of them are stuck here. So they're kind of, what's the term, Jova?
Kindred spirits?
That's it, kindred spirits.
So this is why people hate Bryan Adams nowadays.
What?
I figured it out, Pedro. It was this movie that did it.
Well,
That wouldn't surprise me, I guess, since
Tarzan and Brother Bear did it for Phil, so yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I was saying was, much like in the first episode of Spirit Riding Free, that's what that episode was trying to do. It was trying to do the whole kindred spirits with Lucky and Spirit's son, except doing it horribly.
I like this scene.
But Phil's made more than one good song, though.
Anyway, I like this scene about how Spirit reacts to them.
It's not to say that he didn't make good songs. It's more so the fact that, remember, it was for those movies that a lot of people were introduced to him, and that kind of creates a really bad So it kind of creates a bad first impression, and like you yourself said various times, those first impressions can be hard to shake.
Also, you're gonna try and pull this shit right in front of them?
He's desperate.
Ooh, he's gonna try to tame him himself.
He's gonna bring out the spurs.
Ooh.
Ow.
Wee. Whack. What time are you guys at?
Same time as you. 30, 31, 32, 33.
Don't worry, guys.
I'm like 2 seconds ahead, but I don't think it really matters.
Ow.
Yeah. You could just pause for like a second or so, and then, yeah.
It's okay. It's okay, guys. All we have to do is ask Jody to come here and magically tame him all of a sudden.
Using Aiden. You know,
David, you and your stupidity.
Oh, crud, he might actually be doing it.
He's got an amazing grip, hasn't he?
Well, he
hasn't had the food or the water to give him the energy to actually deal.
Yeah.
See, director, notice that shot you have of Spirit's eyes perfectly conveying what the horse is going through? There you go. That's all you need.
I'm tired, I'm lonely.
Shut up, Brian.
Shut up, Brian.
His spirit is broken.
Literally.
Yep.
Get it, spirit.
Awkward, but true.
This movie, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. They don't spare any details.
Well, what happened to what happened to Zephyr Cochrane? He went from innovating space travel to abusing horses.
Yeah.
He had a really nasty fallout to him. Oh.
He had a fallout with the Federation.
Fuck this, I'm taking it out on the horse. What's that you were saying? Any horse can be broken?
I'm gonna break you.
But I imagine Spirit was probably broken just then.
Ow. Just barely. He got a second win thanks to inspiration from the Little Creek is his name. Well, that's embarrassing. I just gave a big speech and everything.
Great, I'm being laughed at by horses.
Yep.
You've reached a new low. Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Hey, Dwebs, isn't this a much better villain than the so-called villain in Spirit Riding Free?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
Really?
Really?
What do you
Yeah, yeah, he tamed the horse, but how long did that last? Like a minute?
Well, Dwibs. We
No,
knew he
that's
wasn't
not
going to
what we
manage to
mean.
tame Spirit. We're talking about the film actually being effective at showing his abuse of Spirit, and now he is definitely the representation.
Well,
I
not
was
even just
I was too
Spirit. Not
distracted
even
by
just
Brian
Spirit.
freaking Adams.
Well, it's not even just Spirit. The fact that he's all around pretty horrible, all things considered.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'd be able to appreciate that more if the music had just shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. You're still trying, dude?
You gotta give him yep.
I thought I was going to bribe him with food.
Well, at least he didn't give up. I'll give him that. Huh.
I was riding free. I think there might be...
Oh,
there's Rain.
Basically,
Is that his rival?
No, it's his
you'll see.
soon-to-be wife.
Basically,
these two horses are going to give birth to the spirit from the show.
Huh.
Oh.
Turns out Rain is the Indian's horse.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, at least his captors are a bit more friendlier.
Spirit was too distracted because he was thinking with his
Yeah. You know,
and now he got kidnapped again.
So Stashy's going to come back later, isn't he?
Now, that is actually another
he's
thing.
dead.
That's another thing this movie does. You'd think, oh, well, just because they're Indians, of course, they're going to be, automatically better. No, actually. I mean, the Indians also themselves did use horses, and, well, yeah, while Indians did technically respect animals in their death and everything, they did still kill.
So what happened to Stashy?
Oh, he'll be back, don't worry.
I'd be back. Don't worry, I won't hurt you this time. I won't hurt you.
Well, of course, Spirit's not going to hurt him because at least, well, he kind of owes.
I was on about the. I was
No, he's not going to hurt Spirit.
I was doing the Indian.
Oh. Bribery.
Don't worry, they're not poisoned.
Maybe that would be too Disney.
Yeah, this is Jeffrey Katzenberg. He doesn't do Disney.
We're edgier. We're cooler.
Spirit? The food's over there, pal.
You're not supposed to eat. You're supposed to eat out your plate, not out the other horse.
Oh boy. And now we see the male stallion Spirit trying to impress the female horse over here, Rain.
What, you've heard David Attenborough too?
Well, to be fair, that's like incredibly parodied, so yeah, I've seen it.
I thought it was only the UK.
People parody David Attenborough all the time.
Dwebs, when something becomes a meme, it spreads like wildfire.
And now we can see the male spirit of a Cimmaron showing jealousy, a basic instinct. Yeah, that's another thing. The animals can be dicks as well. Racist ones. That's right.
Well,
to be
fair, considering Spirit's experience with humans, I can understand him. This doesn't make any sense. Why would that horse be friends with a human? These humans, all they want to do is capture it.
Yep. I also do like how the movie kind of subverts your expectations and shows that, yes, animals can be just as misunderstanding as humans. In nice detail. Of course, Spirit ain't having none of that. I mean, yeah, you helped save his life, dude, but even still, he don't like to be tamed.
But Rain ain't having any of this.
Yeah.
Mares.
His only experience with humans has been a crappy one. I mean, you can't really blame him.
I love that line. Mares.
So there you go. Now Rain is gonna teach him how to be a nice horse.
Yep.
Well, at least there's no singing then.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the thing. While Bryan Adams is here and there, thankfully there are plenty of points where, the film remembers that it doesn't need singing 24/7.
Thank goodness.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Bryan Adams channel.
Alright, so Dibs, now start placing your bets. Who will win on this contest of strength? Rain or Spirit?
Neither. The race gets interrupted by the returning villains.
Let's see. And now Hans is doing tango music?
Now is not the time for it.
Rain, are you trying
No!
to seduce me?
Yeah, she just tricked him.
She might be trying to seduce him.
Huh, what an interesting mating pattern. Alright, Rain, I'll play your little game of Ring Around the
Fine, I'll
Horsey.
play along, but only because I like you.
And thankfully they don't sing a song about being part of another person's world here.
Hey, Jova, I'm gonna learn about these
Oh, hi,
strangers
Lilo.
like you. Yeah, that
I was
too.
once a loner. Only among my kind.
Wow, Dwebs, you're definitely not gonna like Disney's Tarzan and Brother Bear. Like,
Have you seen Tarzan and Brother Bear, Dweebs?
I've seen Brother Bear
Oh,
I'm guessing you didn't like it, just like you don't like the
years
Tarzan.
ago.
well,
Oh, okay. Trust me, you're not gonna like it.
I
If
mean-
you don't like the singing in this movie, you're gonna hate the singing in
Yeah.
those movies.
Yeah, that is one thing. It's like I said, the songs kind of feel like they were an executive mandate because, yeah, while they were common in, like, the first bit, this is where they start to spread stuff out. So there's at least some sense of restraint. In Tarzan, they have
There's
songs.
no restraint.
They have songs for even the death scenes. Like, yeah.
Well, actually, that's more Brother Bear that has that.
Pedro, remember the opening of Tarzan.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, I get it, Phil. They're sad that they lost their child.
We can tell everything they had burned to the ground.
To give you an idea, Dwebs, one of the lines from the first song is, "No words can describe a mother's tears."
And don't forget the iconic line, 2 worlds, 1 family.
Phil, if there are no words to describe it, then why are you trying?
I thought I'd
Wait a
try
minute,
telling
wait a
them.
minute. Dwibs, you haven't seen the Tarzan movie?
No.
If I have, it was years ago.
Dear,
I can tell.
dear,
Our
so-
commentary is going to be so much
You're
fun about
so
it.
gonna hate it.
I might
You're
have done, but
so gonna hate it.
I might have done, but if I did, it was years ago.
Okay, I'm just going to
Well,
say this right.
prepare to want to burn it with wildfire.
Basically, Dweebs, your anger at that commentary is going to make that video.
Oh yeah.
Like, let me put it like this. Pirates of Penzance, which is, based off of an operetta which has pretty much singing almost nonstop, it works there because it's an operetta, so of course it's made with singing in mind. Oh my god, that sounded a bit like the Hulk theme. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do.
No, that sounds like, and now the end is there.
It's kind of like the "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" sequence from Lion King, except better because there's no song.
singing.
Complete with the swimming in the water and everything.
I mean, I love the Lion King soundtrack, but the "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" song works better as a single by Elton John rather than an actual song in the movie, guys.
Fair enough, yeah.
I wonder how it's going to be done in the new live-action film.
Sung with Beyonce.
Well, musical numbers, I mean, they work like, okay, a song as a musical number is supposed to work in context of what's going on, and that was a good song on its own, but it wasn't really fit number.
See, the thing with Tarzan is that unlike most Disney musicals, in most Disney musicals, it's either the characters singing it themselves or, someone singing it around them, so it at least feels like it's part of the story. With Tarzan, again, you're just hearing background songs.
Yeah.
Alright, enough about Tarzan. I'm just looking forward to the commentary, though, now knowing Dwybs' weakness to that. So now Spirit kind of has something of a more playful relationship with Little Creek.
Congratulations, Dwybs. You just found yourself one of your new pet peeves.
What? Overuse of singing in movies?
Well, not so much overuse of singing that...
songs blatantly explaining what's going on because you're stupid, you can figure it out for yourself, apparently.
Well, I don't really like musicals full stop most of the time, but...
you might like Pirates of Penzance because, let's just say the singing, while it is the majority of the play or movie in our case, actually does it intuitively, and besides, there are songs about literally killing traitors.
Could it be? Maybe Spirit is now willing to be ridden?
Nah. This is going to be undone at some point.
Come on, Dwybs, trust in him.
Oh.
Psych!
Told you.
It's literally us.
you?
Aw, even Spirit respects it.
But
Now get lost.
I was laughing with him, not at him. You two were just being rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I really like the scene that's coming up between them.
I love you.
Yeah.
Well,
By
in a
the
way.
way, How to Train Your Dragon so reused that shot.
Yeah. How much you want to bet that was like one of the few good animators left of Dreamworks going, I could just feel it, guys. We still have that spirit in us.
Well, remember, Jova, the How to Train Your Dragon movies were created by Chris Sanders and Dean DeBlois, former Disney directors, specifically the Lilo and Stitch directors.
Oh,
Yeah.
so how funny that, again, we had a little girl who looked a lot like Stitch at the natives village.
That was basically their way of improving, getting former Disney directors.
Yeah. Shame Phil Niblink didn't get the memo. Instead, he just made Romeo and Juliet sealed with a kiss. I bet you two have forgotten that commentary of
There you
ours.
go. He's freeing Spirit. He decided to free Spirit because now he respects him.
I mean, he realizes that,
Spirit
yeah.
is suspicious of this.
He realizes that Spirit's only gonna let him ride when it's absolutely necessary.
The problem is that now he's fallen in love.
And he's actually kind of gotten used to humans. And now he realizes that not all humans are bad. See? A movie that actually addresses someone getting to know another person's species, and it's done subtly enough, and oh my god, I just realized this entire segment was done without any Bryan Adams songs. Congrats, Dwybs. I think we scared off Bryan Adams.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, he wants Rain to come with him, though. Sorry, Spirit. Seriously, this sounds a lot like the Hulk theme.
I don't see.
No, the do-do-do-do. That, at least the first few keys of it.
What if that's the film's main theme or something?
But... oh, crud.
I smell man.
Well, yeah, well, no, not that man. The other man.
The bad kind. Dwybs, remember how you called that mustache would be coming back? Yep.
Yeah. That bastard horse broke my back. And my arm.
As you can bet, he's pretty pissed.
And my shoulder. In fact, every part of me's broken. How am I managing to do this?
And again, this is during the American Indian War, so yeah.
How'd they find this one?
I'm not quite sure they were chasing after him in particular, but, they see an Indian village and they raid it. That's kind of a thing with the American Indian Wars.
Not just that, but you can follow horse tracks. It's quite easy to follow.
Yeah. Horses aren't quite the best at covering their tracks. And Spirit, of course, returned the favor by saving him from getting shot.
But uh-oh, Mrs. Horse is in danger.
Rain.
You mean Rain?
Yeah, Rain.
So if he fails to save Rain, then Spirit riding free never happens.
You know what? Let her die.
Die.
For the greater good. You must die for the greater good.
Unfortunately, Spirit's too good for that. He's too good for this world, dang it. If the show at the very least gave flashbacks to scenes from the movie, that would at least make it better.
But Joe, for that would be that they'd have to show how better this animation looks.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, look, okay, with Tangled, I get changing the art style because, that was strictly for the sake of budget, but it's not like 2D hand-drawn animated shows are that expensive to do. In fact, if anything, CGI is more costly.
Yeah, CGI is actually more costly, so that argument holds no water whatsoever.
Again, like I said, I mean, if they wanted to have an animated thing, they could just use Flash.
I mean, Flash by no means would have been perfect, but even that would have been better. I mean, heck, My Little Pony showed that you can actually make Flash look good.
It would have been within their budget, is what I mean.
Yeah, My Little Pony looks.
Oh boy, Rain.
The rain was.
If I remember correctly, the recent Powerpuff Girls show is also animated in Flash, isn't it?
I don't
A
recall.
lot of TV shows at the moment are done in Flash.
When it comes to Powerpuff Girls, I think the controversy is that it looks like it's made in Flash, but it's not.
What the interesting thing is that there's a lot of animation errors in that show, even though those are incredibly easy to correct with computer animation.
Especially in Flash.
Well, Jova, it's funny you mentioned that. The lady who made the Steven Universe rant also made a video.
There you go,
Dwips.
That's how it happened. Rain died.
Crud. Anyway, go on, Shirai.
Also made. Oh no, wait.
Oh yeah.
Also made a video about the issue with the animation in Powerpuff Girls. And they mostly talked about the fact that they tried to keep the Powerpuff Girls themselves looking as close to their original versions as possible, so they don't risk annoying the fan base, but at the same time,
they clash with the art
other
style.
characters in the show. The other characters in the show look quite different. They're more 3D in appearance, and it's quite jarring.
Yeah. So Spirit stuck by Rain's side. Unfortunately, though, that allowed the Confederates to catch up.
Get the drop on them.
Basically, Rain survived, but she's wounded, so she can't exactly run away.
As far as they're concerned, she's a useless horse. But Spirit, oh boy.
Once again, being pulled away from a woman he loves.
Yep.
Literally.
Well, yeah, they were pulling him away from his mother in the beginning.
Uh-huh. And we still have gone on without a Bryan Adams song. Huh.
Maybe
Jova,
they needed to get...
don't.
Don't jinx it.
Maybe they needed to get it out their systems. They did it all early on.
Yep.
My horse is...
Shut up, Bryan.
My heart is too...
Excuse me for a moment.
I can't believe this. I'm sorry for you.
Dribs, for the considering you're the one who hates it, you're sure doing a great job filling in for him.
I'm mocking it.
Brian?
No, that's what I'll do. If I win your millions,
Oh.
I'll use some of it to make a film that's not filled with nothing but songs.
Okay, Brian?
Yeah.
That's basically the musical
Be
Hamilton.
quiet.
Yes, sir.
But Hamilton is awesome.
Hamilton is awesome.
Yeah, in fact, that's
Alexander
what
Hamilton?
if-
You guys have seen Hamilton?
No, but it's by
haven't.
but considering
It's
who
by,
created it,
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
it's Lin-Manuel Miranda, so I don't need to see it to know it's awesome.
Yes.
I haven't seen the musical, but hey, that could be something I could do. I could fund a film version of it.
Basically, Dibs,
If you
Alexander...
have Apple Music or Spotify, or I think even Google Play, the entire soundtrack is on there.
Yeah, Alexander Hamilton is basically an all-black cast version of the life of Alexander Hamilton.
Well, that's because
Oh God, it's
Lynn
Bryan
doesn't-
Adams again.
Hold
that's
on.
because
Is it?
Lynn doesn't believe in
Cheery.
typecasting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dwebs, you yourself kept kind of bringing him up,
Yeah.
so this is on you now.
Regardless of color or gender or age within reason, obviously, but in his mind it's more like if the person fits the role, then that's the best thing.
You know, I can just imagine that around this time there was actually a film role made for insert. We need music singers who can act out part of the narration in song.
Not just that. Well, just to finish what I was saying earlier, "You're Welcome" is one of my favorite Disney songs ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not just the fact
did
that
Miranda write that one?
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah. I was just saying, did he write that one?
No. Yes.
Yeah,
it-
yeah.
And
And
you can tell.
like if you listen to Hamilton and then go back to listen to that song,
You
you
lo-
can
Yeah.
definitely
one thing
tell.
about
I haven't seen
Lin-
Hamilton. Remember?
one thing about Lin-Manuel Miranda, Dwebs, he loves triple rhyming.
yeah.
Mhm.
And considering the time of day,
I get it. He's sad.
wow. I mean, we've had
Well,
Bryan Adams gone for so long. and-
So it's like in Doug's review of Fever the Cobbler. She's sad. Next.
Wow, it's like the minute Bryan Adams comes back, it's like he's picking up the lost steps.
yeah, Brian is a fucking anchor, dragging this movie down.
I feel like Dwibs is raging about this more than the actual TV show because he's not there.
well, that's sort of the thing, sure. It's like, I mean, I think the sad thing is like, well, see, the TV show was bad all around, but here the movie's pretty good. It's just this one single thing that is notably done badly, and I guess I can get why that would make someone rage. It's like, well, they're so close to making this the perfect movie, yet they had to follow in Disney's footsteps and have Bryan Adams do the Phil Collins spiel. Remind me, did Brother Bear come out before this movie?
You must
Brother
take your place.
Brother Bear was 2003.
Oh,
Yeah.
so okay, Tarzan thing.
Sounds like a rock ballad now.
Yeah, can you tell how sad this is?
We're incredibly sad, guys.
But now, guys, the light of hope is showing again.
Brian, shut the fuck up. Jesus.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, he's not even all that good a singer from the
Okay,
sounds.
let me go get my special Bryan Adams safety kit. All right. Oh, shoot, he's gone. Never mind.
Quite possibly the biggest example in the Disney ones is
Brother Bear 2.
well, I haven't seen that one. Wait, Brother Bear 2 has Phil Collins?
I
I
think
don't
it
think
did.
it does it?
Shoot,
Does it?
I can't remember.
I know Tarzan. I know the Tarzan interquel had.
Yeah,
but,
even though they call that Tarzan 2. Although, surprisingly, Doug says that even Phil apparently got better with that one. But, yeah, I forget. Sure, it was Phil Collins in Brother Bear 2.
Did he tone down that stuff in that one?
I don't remember a lot of Brother Bear 2.
It was
The
stupid.
lyrics, basically, the lyrics were more subtle. To answer your question, they were a bit more less in your face. But anyway, the worst of it to me, Jova, is in Brother Bear, where there's that one specific sad moment. You know the one.
Oh, that.
And Phil literally starts singing, "Wherever I go, I hurt someone." Fuck you. Fuck you, Disney.
Even though we literally saw everything that happened leading up to this point.
I'm gonna get a drink right back.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hey, at least we're back to the good old non-lyrical parts.
Yeah.
You know,
So the whole one movie you guys have you guys seen War Horse?
No.
No, I haven't.
Oh, you need to, because War Horse was, if you ask me, Steven Spielberg's last worthwhile film.
Huh. So apparently Phil Collins was not in Brother Bear 2. Okay.
I know how he did it, but the way he shoots the scenes with the horse, like he manages to really make you feel like you can see what the horse is feeling and thinking, even though it's a horse, it can't act, but like it's done so well.
For a live action film, that's incredibly good.
And better, and it's better than this, considering there's no fucking songs in that one. And guess what? And guess what, Joe? Here's the irony: War Horse is a Disney movie.
Huh.
Wasn't Brother Bear 2 a direct-to-DVD thing?
Yeah, one of the direct-to-video sequels.
You want to know the sad thing, Shiroi? That's actually one of the better animated Disney sequels.
I disagree.
I disagree because they involved humans more, I think.
Well,
that movie.
No. Hold on. I was talking strictly about the animation.
Oh, animation. Okay.
Yeah, animation, not the movie.
But as a watchable movie, the first one's better.
Well, most of the Disney direct-to-video sequels have good animation.
Except
most
for
of
a few
them.
notable ones.
I said most of them.
See, the problem is, like, what I'm saying is, like, that's one of the best bouts of animation in the Disney sequels. Oh, wait, never mind this scene.
That I agree.
I'll talk more about it later. Basically, Spirit's kind of faking queuing over.
Smart. Fun fact: there's a similar sequence in War Horse.
Wow. So was War Horse like an apology letter for this movie? It's like, hey, we know, guys, we know we didn't even make this movie, but we figured you deserve the awesomeness minus the mind-numbing song. So here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goody dwibs! You're back just in time for one of the film's best action scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Basically, Jova, War Horse is Spielberg kind of returning to his roots, in the sense he's making a good old-fashioned, heartfelt, character-driven story.
This is probably the scene I remember the most.
Yep.
Go! Let the Hans Zimmer score guide you.
Oh, boy. Oh, chains! That's gonna shave.
Adwebs, I can just imagine maybe if they ever met during the production. I can imagine Brian doing his thing, whereas Hans is like, Brian, you wanna let me do that?
I'm the composer.
Okay, guys, we've got something going in a bit of locomotion here.
BRB.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Well, crud.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you heavily breathing.
Okay.
You must be feeling intense with this scene.
I still got a headache from freaking Adams.
I'm guessing you'd like this movie a lot more if he wasn't there.
Yeah, and also, I mean, the movie's okay, but
Bryan Adams.
not just him.
Still better than the TV show.
It's not saying much.
Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty good, honestly. I mean, it conveys the scenes here and there. I guess maybe you might just not be interested in the themes as much.
Not really.
That's fair enough. I mean, at least you gotta admit, though, the action is well choreographed.
Well, it's not choreographed as much as it is drawn.
Well, you know what I mean.
Well, choreography is a different thing, but
Well, when I say choreographed, I mean the action scenes here are well directed.
well, choreography is still a legitimate term in animation
Yeah, that's it.
for the movement.
Yeah. Of course, we're doing the fire forest scene. And the music is just right, and oh, crud! Okay. He's stuck choking on a chain with a force that's about to burn him.
Shit.
Thankfully, someone's here. Little Creek.
Every time you say Little Creek, I keep thinking Battle Creek for some reason.
Surprisingly good mixture of CGI with the flames there.
And they died.
I feel I know this was early CG and such because the explosion earlier looked a bit out of place, but the rest of it is fine.
They survived it. Ding.
It still hurt.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Am I dead?
No, you are a spirit.
Wouldn't that mean I'm dead?
No, that's your name.
Oh, right.
You forgot your own name? Man.
Don't worry, Dwibs. Matt will tell you if he's dead or not.
Crap, do I have to get Brian Adams to remind you what your name is? Your name is Spirit, like the one in the sky.
No, it has to be a song about him being a free spirit.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
I run through the fields.
Brian, go.
That's a running gag. Every time I do a Brian Adams impersonation, Jacob gets his anti-Adams gun out.
Anti-Adams gun. That sounds like something that could be a pickup in Resident Evil. But yes, as you can see, there are now, again, once two kindred spirits. There's just one little problem.
Yeah, the film's called Spirit, not Spirits.
Hey there, Colonel! Eek!
So yeah, they're never quite done with them.
Yeah, he said he'd break that horse if it was the last thing he did.
He's a determined mother trucker.
He may have to take him in a pine box at this point.
Wasn't this like their last 2D animated film, or was that Sinbad?
No, I think it was Sinbad.
Because these films never really
what?
Made much money.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I think it was because of the competition at the time, or the fact that not many people...
Disney's 2D films were dying on their ass at this point.
Yeah. That's a shame, too.
Unless they were Lilo and Stitch.
And then Home on the Range had to screw the pooch for 2D animated films. Oh boy. By the way, I love this chase scene. Like, it's really smart, intuitive, actually, again, like I said before, well choreographed, and the animation here, while not perfect, does do a good job blending.
Also, it's set in a similar environment as some of the chase scenes in the show are, and yeah,
Yep.
you could tell the difference.
Oh, snap.
And now we're in Lion King 2.
Don't remind me of that one.
There's so many continuity errors in that one, jeez.
Oh boy.
I wish that was the only problem. I like Lion King 3 more.
Don't you mean Lion King 1.5?
3.
It's 1.5.
Well, technically it takes place kind of at the same time, so
it's called Lion King 3.
Fine.
That's just you Europeans having to change every name.
Yeah, because you guys never change things, do you?
Oh, no, we do, but at least we admit it. And we admit when it's...
You know.
Yeah, we do. And we admit when it's a bit silly, too.
Okay.
All
Break it up.
right. Okay, here comes one of the scenes that everyone remembers.
Help. Because of the name changes, they kind of ruined the roll credits moment in the recent Pirates movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're about to see to the extent of Spirit's determination.
Hold on
Oh,
tight.
yes.
Yeah, when Matt Damon says that, something's going to go down.
Yeah.
Mainly their 2D animation studio, sadly.
Spirit's gonna fall, and that's gonna be a metaphor for that.
Leap.
I believe I can fly.
Don't celebrate yet, you're not at the other side.
Might as well give him as much encouragement as he can.
Pull, Spirit, pull.
That's something...
It wasn't quite seamless, but yeah.
That's something only a truly determined wild horse can do.
Spirit's freaking Jesus now.
He's horse Jesus.
He got pushed to his limit there. So, you still want to try catching him?
Well,
Don't
I'm
worry,
out.
I can just shoot you from right here.
I respect this horse.
Yeah. That's another thing I do like, actually. The way he's quote-unquote beaten is that he realizes that, breaking this horse is not
He
worth
admits
it.
defeat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that from Cochrane admitting defeat? This is so unlike him. Okay, he was
We
a drunk,
did it.
but still.
Uh-oh. Brian, please leave.
Brian?
I know they're happy!
Brian, we were having fun. We were just celebrating our victory.
Brian, I know.
If
they're
you can't
happy
get
that
your
they
way, then you can
escaped.
never... Come on! Okay, yeah, first thing I'm doing after this is looking for a fan edit with the instrumental versions.
Actually, to be honest, guys, I think this is actually one thing the show has over this movie.
Wow,
The lack of songs. Oh, yeah, that's so much as obvious. The problem is that it's worse in literally every other aspect.
Yeah. And again, for as much as the Brian... Okay, I'll admit, this is something that kind of annoys me more as an adult than as a kid. I'll admit, as a kid, the songs didn't annoy me.
Yeah, that's exactly my point, Joe. But these songs are clearly made so that the kiddies can understand it, because kids are stupid.
Although even as a kid, I never needed those songs. It's just, I guess I liked the songs. They sounded cool and stuff. But yeah, I think I realize now their purpose. But hey, whatever. Basically now the day is saved and they're back to their Indian tribe, which sadly has to reconstruct after the battle. And Rain is okay.
Rain!
Yeah, Rain.
Don't worry, Dwibs. It's not like the film expects you to care too much about her. It's just, she's alive. Yeah, that's another thing. While Spirit technically does have a love interest, they don't really shove it into the plot too much. They just have it be natural. And that works. And, it makes sense that she would kind of develop feelings for him since, they've gotten to know each other better and, well, he saved her life. Aww.
Ugh. Really? You have to throw that line in there?
At least he didn't sing it.
You'll always be in my heart.
Joke's on you, Dwibs. You aren't singing it the way Phil does.
It's kind of like in Eternal... I really want to slap the guy who translated the Eternal Divas script in the face. Because he also did something like this to the original script.
In hindsight, Little Creek, maybe they could have just been friends and not have spawned a child. I mean, I get that they love each other, but about their child, it's not exactly a happy future. Oh, whatever. This ending is gorgeous anyway. I suppose it's worth that terrible sequel that we got this. Aww. Run free. Pedro.
I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
It's only downhill from here.
I don't have the heart to sing that stupid song either.
Oh, here you go, Dwarves. Is that drink you got alcoholic by any chance?
Squash.
No.
Is that alcoholic?
No.
There was like
Home
a squash movie.
again!
Oh, come on, the movie's not.
Oh, I mean, come on.
The movie soundtrack, then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the soundtrack aside from the songs, and to be fair, again, the songs themselves aren't bad.
Hans Zimmer's score is beautiful.
And
Like,
you know what?
Usually with films like this, they release 2 soundtrack albums, one with just the score and one with the songs.
And I will say that even the vocal songs by themselves are good. It's just the way they're attached to the movie that's annoying. It's like, seriously, if they were like their own separate soundtrack, we'd probably be relishing the sound of this. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's not like the best singer, but he's not bad per se. It's just those lyrics are so blatant.
Yeah.
You may as well just call this the "We're Happy Together Now" song.
I think there's actually part of the song where he says that.
And yeah, mother's still alive.
There we go, see? Boy, that mother sure hung in there considering how old horses can get.
If this were a Disney movie, she'd be dead like half a movie ago.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, they didn't kill the parent. And now, of course, Spirit is...
Fly like an eagle.
Okay.
What?
That kind of would have been a bit more fitting for the jump scene, but okay. Oh, there's the eagle, okay.
What is this, Assassin's Creed?
Because the eagle is freedom, but you know what? I'll take that symbolism. That's... At least it doesn't scream it into my ear.
Are we gonna have another one of these
doing
songs
it
for the
right now.
credits?
But you know what? Despite those annoying songs, I still enjoyed this movie.
All right, so is there another Brian song in the credits?
Let's listen.
Yes, there is. We just had one.
All right, so
Okay, guys. How much do you want to bet that the lyrics are actually part of the script? Like, seriously, how much do you want to bet?
It's like,
that...
okay, it's like, we don't want speaking in this movie, though. Okay, so we'll make it song.
Like, seriously, if... You know, with movies like this and Tarzan, I'm honestly wondering if they stuck the lyrics into the script.
So, can I go first on my final thoughts?
Go ahead.
Okay, it's okay, but the songs really hurt them.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Again, I'll give the show credit for one thing. Yeah, it's god awful, but at least they don't interrupt what little stories they have of a song every 5 minutes.
I'll be quite honest, I'll take the songs bit over the bad show, because, you know, at the very least there's a good portion of this movie where the songs aren't there.
Still, though, and I mean, I was talking to Joe earlier. I'm not really big on some of the themes that they try to do.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Or
at least the way it was handled.
It's not a movie for everyone. It's just a movie that sadly didn't get seen a lot, but now has gotten the big fan base that it needed back then.
Too little, too late.
Yeah.
Like with poor Treasure Planet.
Well, maybe they shouldn't have released it next to Harry Potter then, should they?
More on that later.
Alright, it's okay, but And I think I went into this with a bit too much expectation.
All right.
That's fair enough.
Shiroi, you go next.
Well, I don't find the songs are completely out of place and, well, pretty lazily written with how blatant the lyrics are, but I don't mind them as much.
Oh my god,
because
another Bryan Adams song in the middle of
they're-
the credits.
I've turned the video off. But
Me too.
basically, it's fine, but they're not full 3-minute songs.
Yeah.
So at least I don't have to sit through that. But aside from that, everything else about this is far better than the TV show. It's better animated. Again, I know the TV show had a small budget, but they could have at least tried to work within their budget. I mean, that was their own fault. And like the general score is beautiful, the animation is beautiful, even though, and like I said to Jova earlier, it was early CG, so it's pretty excusable. But the explosions kind of looked very much out of place.
And yet they still look better than the explosions in Mighty Number 9.
Oh gosh, yeah. They look like somebody went into clip art and inserted them into the game.
Use pizza pictures.
Pizza pictures, yeah. But yeah, generally, the movie was really great. I thought it handled its themes reasonably well, and I would like to see Warhorse to see how better it might handle this kind of thing. But yeah, overall, this is a really nice movie, and it was nice to watch it again.
That all?
All right.
All right. Yep, that's all.
Okay.
I'm gonna burp.
Go ahead.
All right, then,
As
yeah.
For me,
Go on, Pedro.
as for me, it's such a frustrating movie because all you really need to turn this into an amazing movie is to remove stuff.
Yeah.
Not even change stuff. Remove the fucking narration. While not bad by any means, it's still unnecessary. And remove these fucking songs that serve for nothing except then fucking dumb down the thing by blatantly explaining to the viewer why he's supposed to feel and why.
Oh my god, 3 Bryan Adams songs in the credits. Stop it, guys.
Because apparently the viewer is stupid and cannot possibly put one and one together. So yeah, that sucks. Aside, everything else is pretty good. It's just a shame that it so many of these sequences could have been so much more effective if the director fucking trusted the intelligence of his audience.
And if this was them trying to parody Disney, which was their excuse for a lot of shortcomings of their films, that's a really weak one.
My guess is oh yeah, Tarzan was a big hit, and that did the thing with the Phil Collins, so let's do the same thing with Bryan Adams. That's the thing, dude. People didn't even like it when Disney did it, so...
How the hell they missed the memo there is beyond me.
And I mean, hell, I think Bryan Adams only really had like 1 or 2 hits before he started.
Well,
I'm guessing this is who they could afford at the time.
Well, like you yourself said, Jova, you were a kid. Like you yourself said, just watching it right now as an adult, now you're starting to realize what the problem is.
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit, it's been a while since I've seen Spirit, Tarzan, or Brother Bear.
Oh, trust me. After this, I can show you this, because trust me, this is so blatantly misguided. But anyway, yeah, let me finish. Yeah, the animation is 5 stars. It's beautiful. The horse animation is stellar. And Hans Zimmer's music is fantastic. I just wish they could have just had Hans actually orchestrate the moments where there are songs, because Hans is clearly at the top of his game in here. Just let him do it. Hans can do it far better than Bryan can.
He can do it to it.
So anyway, yeah, it could have been amazing, but the executive meddling. And
it's always executive meddling.
But executive meddling, possible executive meddling, or cowardice on part of the filmmakers really, really cut off a lot of the potential, and it's sad. Seriously. Go ahead, Jova.
Yeah, I will say this commentary didn't go the way I expected it would. I mean, it was nice to relive this movie, but yeah, this is one thing I noticed. I wouldn't say this is a movie that necessarily, well, okay, yeah, this is kind of a movie that becomes lesser in my eyes and my ears when watching this as an adult, because yeah, that's the sad thing. It's like, well, this is such a great movie on so many accounts. The animation, the action, the story. Heck, I mean, for as out of place as the narration can be, I actually think this is one of the better cases where they mix in narration with stuff. It's just the singing. The singing is way different from how I remember it. It's like, ugh. I mean, and again, it's not like the singing itself is bad. It's just the lyrics.
The lyrics are god awful.
Okay, the lyrics are this film's equivalent to episode 5 of Spirit Riding Free. It's like the lyrics of that song are the one element that feel like they're talking down to its viewers.
They're basically like, okay, no one watching this can tell basic emotions, so I'm going to spell them out to you in a song.
I mean, which is a shame because, the film does step outside of boundaries that are not as comfortable for kids. Like, animal abuse. They show it. They show him being potentially broken. Heck, they even do stuff with the Colonel, that stuff. And again, they actually do show the atrocities committed during the American Indian Wars. So yeah, I mean, on a lot of fronts, this is a great movie, and I definitely enjoyed watching it. It's just the songs. They're annoying. And that's sad, really, because
and there's disrespect to our intelligence.
Yeah, and which is a shame because I still respect this movie, and it deserves its fan base.
Me as well.
But okay, yeah, I think I really like an edit where heck, don't even get rid of Bryan Adams songs, just give us the instrumental versions of the songs. Again, it's literally just the lyrics. It's like amazing how song lyrics can make a movie lesser than it is, and now I'm starting to wonder if I might be raging during Tarzan. I mean, I remember that Tarzan had that issue, but to what level?
Tarzan has a lot more singing in this, so yeah.
Oh, yeah. Singing's practically the theme of Tarzan, but more to that later. But yeah, again, I like this movie, but like Pedro said, it's one of the most frustrating experiences I as a commentator can ever have. Something that is fun in so many regards, but just has that one thing that I can't deny and can't ignore, which brings it down notably.
It sticks out like a horribly ugly sore thumb.
Yeah, and it's even worse because, again, otherwise this is a great film. Like, heck, if this were a problem with Spirit Riding Free, that would just be, hey, the show's already terrible, why not add on that stuff? But this, it's a stain on something good. I guess the best hopes, I can either hope for a re-edit, probably a fan-made one, or maybe a sequel that will do better, but, who am I kidding?
Silly Jova. You already have a sequel.
I want a sequel that's not an abomination.
Well, too bad you're getting this.
But okay, you know what? That aside, though, no joking, I still find this a good film. I will rewatch it for the action. I will probably mute the lyrical tunes, but otherwise, it's a great, fun ride. It has good characters and a few good morals here and there. So yeah,
right.
I recommend seeing this one. Just come prepared for the Bryan Adams one. You know the way.
All right, everybody, that's about it. So tune in for when we finally muster up the energy and the patience to sit through it.
Yeah.
So,
And when we've all calmed down from Bryan Adams.
See you then.
See you then.